Airtech Studios sent me their ICS TDC top-down center hop-up converter, and also their advanced hop-up chamber inner barrel locking ring for rotary chambers. Both of these offerings from Airtech Studios focus to get higher precision and accuracy by working to improve alignment, air seal, and consistency on every shot. For this install, you'll also need a flat hop bucking and a hop patch shaped and cut for your compatible barrel, super glue to set the hop patch, a donor barrel, and of course an ICS rotary hop unit. They have similar other kits for different style hop units, so check out their website if you're looking for hop improvements for other brands. You want to start by preparing your barrel and hop-up by disassembling them. For this setup, I picked up a new, longer VCI 6.02 Type 4 barrel from my ICS PDW9. The TDC kit converts the ICS metal rotary hop into somewhat of a TDC or top-down center style adjustment system. While this is not a true top-down center design in the sense of an axial aligned adjustment, which sees the actual adjustment arm itself travel straight up and down, Airtech Studios TDC design mimics this effect while still maintaining the rotary adjustment wheel. They do this by restraining the trolley nub vertically and creating a sliding surface horizontally between the arm and the trolley. In Airtech Studios instructions for the TDC mod, it actually also recommends to use the advanced hop-up chamber inner barrel locking ring, which is this other package that I have here. The advanced hop-up chamber inner barrel locking ring comes with a barrel locking ring and 6 O-rings to act as barrel spacers. The locking ring will fit tight between the hop-up unit and the inner barrel, in place of the typical loose metal ring. The 6 O-rings will be used to substitute the spring that normally goes on the outside of your inner barrel. This will help get a better seal and fit between your hop-up unit and your gearbox. The TDC mod kit comes with a main bracket, a trolley, and an M-nub with a modified arm. You have to salvage your original rotary hop unit, including the rotary wheel, metal hop, and the pin and retainer clip that go through the arm. You can get rid of the hop arm, the nub, the spring, and any metal spacer ring that went between the inner barrel and the hop unit. I want to give a few special notes on this TDC bracket mod. The main bracket fit is very tight out of the box. When I first put it into a hop-up for a test fit, I nearly busted it trying to get it out after. The bracket is quite difficult to uninstall once it's installed inside the hop chamber, and you have to be very careful trying to remove it. If you ever need to remove it, just try to slowly pry up on multiple edges, angles, or corners, and also try to pry at areas with the thickest plastic and watch for deformation. I decided to file things down a bit because I wanted a snug tight fit. What I did was I gently filed the burrs of the steel hop down, and I sanded slightly the actual plastic housing unit so that I could take it in and out with relative ease. To get the right fit, just make sure you remove material slowly and test fit it often. This will take some slight edging from all sides to pull it out, but after filing and removing, the unit is not nearly as tight as it was stock. I'm also not a huge fan of this being considered a semi-permanent installation, since there are many reasons why you might need to uninstall it, for things like a bucking change, R-hop adjustment, or even for something as simple as a good barrel cleaning. After I filed and fit it, the installation was actually quite straightforward. If you haven't set your R-hop patch, now's the time to do it. With a bit of care and attention, you want to center the patch on the hop window and seat it with a bit of super glue. It's best to let the glue cure fully overnight. Since this is just a demo, I'm going to go ahead with a bucking install and a loose patch. Anytime you install a new bucking for your hop, you want to make sure you do a BB drop test and a BB push-through test. Basically, just drop a BB down the feed tube, make sure it passes freely. If your BB doesn't freely pass the feed chamber, or if it requires too much pressure to push it down the barrel, then you might have to sand your bucking lips down or try a different bucking, because you'll likely have feeding issues during test firing. With the barrel installed, I'll also be using the new Airtech Studios barrel retaining clip instead of the normal metal rings. Just make sure that the barrel clip is aligned with a longer tab towards the top end of your hop-up unit. I also wanted to highlight the difference in the hop arm. The stock hop arm carries the nub, which is integrated into the arm. The TDC modded arm is isolated from the M nub and the trolley, so that the trolley can slide horizontally relative to the arm. The rotation of the arm then only pushes the nub up and down, with no rotation of the M nub, giving a more consistent hop adjustment. With the new M nub, you have to glue it onto the trolley, but they've included a peel and stick backing with some strong 3M adhesive, so it's actually pretty easy to bond the M nub to the trolley. Note that traditional nubs won't work with this hop unit mod. Recall that any time you pull the base out of the hop, just do so very carefully, prying up on multiple sides, and do so slowly. Insert the trolley with the M-nub attached into the main bracket. Note the orientation with the little lip fit upwards and towards the front of the base unit. The rubber on the M-nub should be downwards. Insert the arm from the bottom up, and also note the orientation. The curved end of the arm pushes onto the trolley. Set and press the assembly into your hop-up unit. Install the pin through the hop in the assembly, and then set the retainer clip for the pin. Don't forget to install the C-clip for your barrel, like I almost did. The final step is to install the barrel into your rifle and test fire. Make sure you can get feeding consistency in both semi-auto and full auto. You might want to try with the hop adjusted on and off just to make sure everything's working alright and that it's holding where it needs to as you fire. I've already installed the inner barrel locking ring for the ICS rotary hop, but the kit also includes 6 silicone O-rings that are used to replace the spring that typically goes along the inner barrel for the rotary style hop units. Hop-up O-ring bell spacers are used to keep pressure on your hop-up unit and maintain proper fit and seal between your gearbox and the hop-up unit. They are a little bit less springy, but still just springy enough to help more consistently press your hop-up unit against your gearbox while giving your bucking and nozzle more consistent alignment during shooting. You can really just use typical O-rings found at your favorite hardware store, but sometimes finding the right size and thickness is difficult, or you're stuck buying an industrial sized package online. When in doubt, this kit's super convenient, pretty cheap, and has everything you need. When you're adding the O-rings, you want to make sure that you have enough on to ensure that you're getting the right effect out of them, but you want to make sure that you don't have too many, so that could also be a problem. If you don't have enough, you'll notice your hop unit will go down and hit metal on metal contact, which is your hop hitting your outer barrel assembly. What you want is the O-rings to press against your outer barrel assembly so they can push back to the gearbox elastically, keep pressure between the hop and gearbox. On the contrary, if you put too many O-rings on, they'll end up crushing, twisting, bending, and just bunching up. You also end up having to force your upper and lower receivers together to get the rifle to close, because the gearbox has to be pushed so hard for it to fit shut. The key is to install them one at a time until you can't really close your receivers effectively, and then remove one O-ring from that configuration to have the right amount. In my case, I actually needed to use all the O-rings in the package. Once it's fully assembled, just double check that you do get a bit of rebound on the hop-up unit. You can do that by opening the side cover and pushing forward, or trying to get something down your mag well to push it forward, but that might be a little harder to observe. You just want to make sure that you have a little bit of rebound coming back as you push forward, indicating that the O-rings are doing their job and pushing your hop-up unit and barrel back into your gearbox tightly. If you've changed from a spring to the O-ring system, you want to double check by test firing and making sure that there's no feeding or FPS issues created by the new setup.